Hi class, this is Dr. Foy again for Human Services 201, Introduction to Human Services. I'm going to quickly go over the syllabus. I thought that what you can do is open it up in Canvas and kind of follow along as I go over it. And that way, if you have any questions, you can just write them down and be ready to discuss them on Wednesday. So again, hopefully you are all enrolled in this class. This is section 4 and the number is 21099. We meet Monday and Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 11:15, and everything is synchronous, meaning everything's going to be virtually done. Office hours will be 2 hours a week by appointment, and I'm available to meet with you all up until 9 p.m. at night. So if you want to meet with me, you just need to contact me and say, hey, Dr. Foy, you can either email me or text me. I want to have a meeting, and it can be a Zoom or it can be either a meeting by phone if you don't want to do a Zoom. And we'll confirm a time and we'll talk. I don't have, since we're not meeting physically, we don't have to worry about meeting where my office is right now. I do have a faculty office that I share on campus with other adjunct faculty. What else? This is all Zoom, like I said. Now, with my job, I'm currently working in the city of San Diego as a temporary manager, helping with the whole COVID what I'm doing basically is doing all the data analysis and kind of helping behind the scenes, do a lot of programmatic stuff. And right now my hours work with this class, but there might be times where I might need to videotape this, and then I'll videotape it and upload it, and then we won't have class. But I will give you notice because I don't know my schedule if it's going to change or not. The catalog basically says we're going to go through the origins and the scope of human services, including the theoretical frameworks. We also, I'm looking over here because I'm looking at the syllabus, the functions and activities of human services organizations, as well as what do human services professionals do. And it's a pretty diverse field, and we'll talk about that more as we get into the course. Let's see. The course objectives. Students will be introduced into the human services profession and from its various practice methods, as far as the theoretical and conceptual approaches that are used in this field. And I think this is a really important piece because it'll help you decide, if you're not sure if you want to go into this field, what really is required. Students will review selected research in the field with the goal to provide you all with a foundation for further study and professional/career development, because some of you all might already be working in the field. Students will be introduced to an assortment of themes, including the origins and scope of human services. And like I said before, what do human services organizations consist of, and what is their roles, as well as what will you be doing. Students will be exposed to professional, ethical, and theoretical issues surrounding the human services field, and you will become familiar with the wide diversity of the field. And like I said, there's teachers, police officers, social workers, eligibility specialists, professors, intervention specialists, mental health workers, alcohol and substance abuse counselors. Those are just a few of them. There's so many. And so you're really entering in a field that's got a lot of diversity. This course is partially fulfills the requirements of the Council for Standards in Human Services Education, and some of the learning outcomes, which is on page 2, I'm not going to go into. I'll let you all read through that. The required text is this book here, and it's actually a great book. It's basically an overview of human services. It's the second edition, and the authors are two professors here at Cal State Fullerton, which you might have already taken classes with them, Christy Canal and Melanie Horns Mallers. So, Horn Mallers. So it's a great book, and it's an easy read, and it's not too technical. So I think it'll be a great book for this class. Moving on, the technology requirements are we're going to be using Canvas, which is new for me this semester. I've been using Titanium, so you're going to have to bear with me too. If you don't know Canvas, we're going to learn together. So we've got Canvas, and pretty much everything will be loaded up there. I've only put the first 3 or 4 weeks of materials up because I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to convert over from Titanium. I have a lot of stuff on Titanium, and I don't think I need it all. So, and I want to update some stuff as well. If you need any help, you can contact the help desk, and they'll help you with any problems you might be having, as I needed it today. Communication, we can talk through office hours or through email, either one, whatever works for you, or either by phone. I will be posting messages from time to time. I'm on the top of page 3 of the syllabus. And I'll do that through Canvas. I'll send you a group email, or sometimes I'll just send an email to one student if I need to reach you through Canvas. So make sure your emails are up to date and online, so that when I send it, you will get it. Course requirements. Okay, here's the good stuff. So the readings are definitely requirements, and I want you to read ahead of time, so I suggest you start reading tonight and just keep reading. I mean, look at the syllabus and see what chapters we're reading, and just keep reading is what I can tell you, because it's very important to stay ahead of the readings. If no one reads and we come to class and we don't have anything to discuss because nobody read it, I'm up here talking, and it doesn't make for a very lively or rich conversation. I also will be selecting you all to answer, to kind of go over some of the different pages of each chapter, so that I'm not the only one up there talking. So be prepared. That's why you need to have it read, okay? And also, if you miss any materials from the lectures, it's your responsibility to contact one of your classmates and get the information if you can. But most stuff will be on Canvas. We will be watching films, and we had a lot of films before, and we had a 2.5 hour time block. It was easy, but now that we don't, it's making it a little bit more challenging. So I'm doing like TED Talks and things. So we might not have as many films. If we do, we'll only watch sections of them, or I'll have you watch them outside of class, which will be part of. You will get points for that if I have you do anything like that. So here's the next thing, is 2 agency visits. And this is going to consist of you contacting 2 human services agencies. For example, it could be you talk to a school principal, or you talk to someone at an alcohol and substance abuse facility that treats inpatients. Whatever it is, it could be, it's so many different places you can go. The Boys and Girls Club is one. I mean, there's so many nonprofit organizations in Orange County. So you're going to pick 2 of them, and you're going to do a Zoom call, okay? You're going to come up with 10 questions prior to doing the interview that you want to ask them. And then you're going to set up a time and Zoom with whoever it is, the representative that you've managed to get a meeting with. And then after you do that, you're going to type up your information and then post it into Canvas. First one is going to be due on week 8, the last one on the last week of class, the 16th. So I suggest you start working on identifying who the first one might be that you want to meet, who you might want to Zoom, because you need to reach out to them. And yeah, we're in week 1, but week 8 is going to come real quick, okay? So that's going to be worth 30 points for doing those 2 agency visits. I need to add that to the syllabus. I'm sorry, those are 50 points. Sorry. I skipped the public service announcement, so I'll go back to that. The public service announcement is going to have you partner with 2 or 3 students in the class, and you guys are going to come up with a public service topic that's related to human services. So for example, you might decide to do one on making sure that kids don't smoke cigarettes or vape. Vape's a big thing now. So your group will come up with a PSA, you'll write it up, and after you write it up, then you'll actually do the video, and then you'll share it with the class. And we're going to do that, start doing those presentations probably like week 13. Since there'll be about 10 groups, we need to have enough time to get through all of those. They're not very long. You know, a public service announcement's not very long, 90 seconds or less maybe. And so that's going to be worth 30 points. And then the 2 agency visits are both worth 50 points. Then you have 2 applied activities. And so in the back of the book, there's a bunch of applied activities, and they're in every chapter. I don't care which 2 you select. It's up to you. They don't have to be in the same chapter. You might go to chapter 1 and pick one, and you might go to chapter 11 and pick another one. You just need to pick 2, and then you're going to basically read it, do what it tells you to do, and then you're going to write it up based on how, depending on which one type of activity you select, it'll tell you what you're doing, and you'll have to either write up what you did or do a summation of what the activity was about. And those are both worth 25 points. Both of those are due week 12. Okay. And then we're going to have 4 exams. Exam 1, 2, and 3 will cover materials every couple of weeks. So exam 1 will probably be like chapters 1 through 3, and then we just keep moving on. When we get to the final exam, that's going to be the last 3 or 4 chapters that we read of the book. And so I don't do like a cumulative final. I just keep going. And I usually give study guides a week ahead. And this year, I think we have to put it on something called Proctorio, which I've never done, so I have to figure out how to do that. And those are all worth 50 points each, okay? And then there's a bunch of policies about grading, and I try to grade everything. I'm at the bottom of page 3. I try to grade everything within a week, but there's 40 of you all, so we'll see how that goes. And then post the grades up in Canvas. I don't like late work, but if there's things that come up, I can accept late work. I just need to know. They need to let me know. I'm going to be pretty flexible for the most part. But please try to make every exam, because it's really difficult to make that up, and that's worth 50 points. So if you miss one, that's significant, okay, in your grade. Here's the grading criteria. It tells you exactly how many points. And so the total points is 400 for the class. If you do all the assignments, turn them in, and get all the maximum points, it's 400 points. And then at the bottom of page 4, it gives you the grading scale onto the top of page 5. But you guys probably won't be on the same page as me, I just realized, because you guys are looking at it from a different viewpoint, unless you print out the copy that I attached on Canvas. I'm not sure about extra credit. Normally I try not to do it, but we'll see how the class goes. As far as academic integrity, you guys are adults. There's no need to have to cheat in this class. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If you have any kind of special needs within the class where you need reasonable accommodations or something, please let me know. In case of an emergency on campus, even though we're not on campus, please familiarize yourself with this information, because it's always important to know what to do in an emergency. Dropping the class, I believe the last day to drop, don't quote me, is I think February 8th, which is coming up pretty quick. So if you're going to drop it, you need to drop it. I can't drop it for you. It's not my responsibility. And if you drop it after that date, you will get a W on your transcript, and you don't want that. So make sure you do it make sure you do that as soon as possible. The last page is there's a statement about human services information that we talk about in the classes, and oftentimes we might watch a video, we might talk about something that triggers a trauma that you've experienced. And so if that's the case, this is a policy on how we handle it and the resources that are available to you. We take this very serious. I had a situation a couple semesters ago where a student had trauma. We watched a video, and it brought back her trauma, and I wound up having to refer her to some resources on campus. Okay, so, just know that we are in a field where we're dealing with trauma all the time, not necessarily our trauma, but other people's trauma. And so that can trigger things. So we have to learn how to handle ourselves with self-care. And we'll talk more about what is self-care and why that's so important. Because if we're not strong enough to, for ourselves, we certainly won't be able to help people out in the field. So it's very important that we take this very serious. And then the whole virtual classroom standards and expectations, I'll let you read it because you guys already know this. To be on time and to be professional, to, be respectful and all those things. And then the very last page 7 and 8, or last pages 7 and 8, is basically the course schedule. And it's tentative, but we'll stick as closely as we can to this. So if you want to know when something's due, and if when we're having spring recess, all that, it's all on this schedule. Okay? So please review it. And if you have any questions, please get it back to me as soon as you can. Please bring your questions or concerns to class on Wednesday, and then we'll go over them. Because I'm sure if you have a question, other people will too. I'm so sorry about the technology. I am waiting for my service provider to come out, which I don't know when that's going to be, to check my lines and all that. All right, but have a wonderful and safe day, and I look forward to seeing you and getting to know you all. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.